Somebody just said maybe our mics don't work, and now they do, believe it or not. This is Ben Mullen live on the mic. I'm watching the action, and I'm going to be with you until the end, the bitter end. I'm going to tell you some things. We're going to have some fun. Oh, you can, yeah. We all got our favorite competitors. I got my favorite competitors. Thank you. I might talk about who they are. I might not. I don't know. It's going to be me and Kingsman on the mic today, and we're going to be watching some of the best Tetris action we've ever seen in our lives. The matches. I'm seeing good comments already. I got the chat up, so if you want to speak directly to us, we will respond to you as possible. I got Kingsman now up at the mic with me, and we are ready to rock and roll, baby.
Is that right? Am I here with the Ben Mullen? Is that really true? I can't believe it. I'm living the boyhood dream here.
You're here with the Ben Mullen, and let me tell you something about that. Even though we've already won life, we just keep going. For the rest of eternity, we mulling this thing.
Of course, you know, like I'm wearing a lot of hats today, Ben, right? I got an MC over here, we got announced players to come in, and then I'm commentating with you because that's the best part of the day.
This is the best part of the day. This was my favorite part yesterday, and it's going to be my favorite part today.
I get to be with a legitimate icon of classic Tetris. Ben, what does it mean to you to see these guys here, you know, continue in your footsteps that you've set the path for?
I can barely even call them they have taken Tetris so far from where it started that it is just, I'm in awe of what they do. Just to be a little part of the beginning of this thing it warms my heart, and I'm so excited to see how far they can take it.
We're gonna take it all the way, maybe to 39.
I think we'll see some 39s.
You know, let's look at these players here, you know, that are gonna partake. We got Huff and DM. I mean, Huff is perennial top 8 player. I mean, the last few CTWCs that we've been going at, he's been there. Yeah. Huff has been there. DMJ has been a formidable opponent all across classic Tetris. He really is someone that picks and chooses the events he goes to, and he makes the most of them. He's a regional winner in the past, so this is a battle of regional stars. Because Huff is someone that just like wipes the floor any live event that he's going to. And then on the other side here of the coin, you got Sodium Overdose, big win yesterday over Dan V. Maybe considered an upset some cases.
Yeah.
Against your boy.
Against my boy.
Alex T, the biggest Mullen fan of them all.
And I'm the biggest Alex T fan of them all. I don't mean to root for a specific player, but I'm rooting for Alex T. Although I will say DMJ might have the best shirt I've ever seen at a Tetris tournament. A shout out to the greatest icon of all time, Jonas Neubauer. He's got a Nubbins Goody shirt on.
Yeah, absolutely. That's remarkable there.
But I'm still rooting Alex T.
We're still rooting for our Alex T. So
I think you're allowed to root as a commentator, although technically I am neutral.
I've been rooting for Alex the whole time, right? How are you not rooting? But not for nothing, Ben. Sodium is one of my OG Fave 5. Yep. You know, we have that Fave 5 list we do every year, and he is on that. He was an OG, the very first group. Him and Huff are on the original list.
Yeah.
And look where they are now.
They're like the OGs of the young Gs.
They are, right? I made them famous, Ben. I made them famous.
Yeah.
I love that we still use the old school. You got water?
I got water, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're almost about getting ready to go. The people shouting for the king and all that stuff. You know, you're getting final warm-ups happening, I believe.
This is by far the most competitive bracket in the history of classic Tetris. Even including the online years that allowed people from all over the world, whether they could be here or not, to compete. I think this had the highest scores in qualifying of any year. And so this is really going to be something.
Yeah, I believe I had some stats there. As of yesterday, with Ansel in the last qualifying spot, 450 max outs in qualifying alone, Ben. Alone.
That is unbelievable to me.
But Ben, you seem like someone that can believe something astronomical like that as well, too.
I'm willing to believe the unbelievable. I mean, a lot of these guys, almost everyone on stage in front of us maxes out almost every game they play. We're down to that level of player. And so we are gonna, and so just in qualifying, some like 450, right? And then I don't know how many more have been added in competition.
During the matches, yeah. So hopefully,
we're gonna
get that stuff going.
We might get to 500 maxes in a world championship. At least by next year, we might do that, and maybe this year.
Maybe. I mean, with 112 players getting a chance to play, even you got to play, Ben. You finally got to play again.
And I did not max. I'm not one of those 100 maxes.
Yeah, you were over on the bronze bracket.
I was in bronze. And there was some controversy around me leaving the qualifier yesterday. I don't know if anyone saw that, but
let's crack that shell.
So some people thought that I was like kicked off just because of a face I made or whatever. I was done. I got what I needed for bronze, and it's all I wanted. So I was trying to give up my spot. We were all happy, shiny people, and we gave someone else a shot.
So I think we're going to switch from the bracket to maybe some gameplay so these players look like they're ready.
Yeah.
Of course, we're all going to wait for the official countdown to come in through anyway, because we got to let our leads on the CT1 to get that. We're going to have that simultaneous countdown, and then we'll get match going. We're going to get some stats throughout the day here, Ben, from our friend Marfram.
Oh, wait.
He's feeding us live stat information that we can cover.
I've been seeing this updating live.
It's going to get updated live for you and me to actually sound like professionals.
All right, Marfram, thank you for doing this.
All right, we got thumbs up.
It takes a village to run a tournament like this, and there really is a village behind us, folks.
All right, there we go, Ben. We got some. Oh, we got Zempro chance. Wow, we got everybody's a star here at CTWC, Ben.
SoCal, are you ready? 3,
2, 1, Tetris! Buko! Of course, you got to get the Buko chance here.
They're doing God's work in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen. They're chanting Buko's name. It's a tradition here at Classic Tetris to chant the name of the Buko.
Yes, yeah, for those that are new maybe watching this is the king of the restreams, Kingsman, alongside the icon of Classic Tetris, Mr. Ben Mullen. We are calling your action here for CT2. This is the top 16. So they'll get the bottom third fixed up in a moment. This is the top 16, Ben. These are your 16 best players in the world.
Best players in the world. Yeah. And they're so good that there's almost not much to say about the Tetris itself, at least in the beginning of games. And so this is the moment we make anecdotes about the past and think up jokes. But I will say this about the games: they look perfect so far.
And that's kind of why they put you with me. That's why they put you with me, Ben, because I kind of lead the horse to water, so you can lap it up and drink it all.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we're starting out. Look at that, 0. That's tie there. It's a tie between Alex and Sodian. Where's the pushdown points, Ben?
On a perfect tie, no pushdown points. They're above that. They wouldn't dare.
They wouldn't dare. But you know, what's funny, Ben, is that in qualifying, Fractal didn't do any pushdown points, and he missed a max out by, I believe it was 100 points.
It was 100 points.
999.
So you usually will get 100 points from pushdown in an average game.
But anyway, things kicking off here, Ben. We've got Huff at 110, DMJ at 143, has an early 30,000 point lead on our bottom. Alex T.
Still an effective tie on the bottom.
Yeah, about 20,000 point difference there.
Yeah.
So early days here, Ben. It's early days.
You can tell how much they insist on perfection. I looked at Alex T's face while he burnt a single earlier, and he looked upset about a single having to be burned. That's professionalism at its finest, folks.
Almost certainly, yeah. Let's go over some stats here, Ben, while we let these players do their thing early on. The Huff DMJ matchup. Huff is 3-0 lifetime on DMJ, kind of referencing back. Their last meetup was at the RITP. You can't call it RIP. It's RIT, Rumble in the Prairie, which is a regional event that's hosted in Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. They just met up back in March, and they met in the finals there where Huff defeated DMJ in that.
Okay. So that makes Huff the favorite right now, probably.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
Now let's talk about that for a second. Like when you're an opponent going in lifetime, defeated. You haven't never beaten this opponent, so you would know this playing Jonas, right? And you've never beaten Jonas.
Believe it or not, Kingsman, I've played a few matches in my life where I was not the favorite. In fact, the majority of matches.
I don't believe that. Ben. How dare you? Well, you're falsifying
I
records
think
here.
you go into the thing thinking, I've really got to swing for the fences.
Yeah.
And it usually makes me play a little more aggressively. And oftentimes that makes me make mistakes. I don't know that would be the case with a guy like DMJ, but that's what it would do to me.
Well, thankfully, he's not the icon, Ben Mullen, because he's got a very tough opponent in the Huffster. Huff is at 262, DMJ at 299. DMJ keeping that more than a Tetris lead safely in the little past the halfway marker of our level A team. On the bottom, Alex with a 36,000 point lead over Sodium, now went down to 15 because of those Tetrises, and they're just trading shots back and forth here, Ben.
Yeah, they're trading back and forth. Nobody's weakening at all. It's just incredible. Now I'm going to tell a little anecdote that I told yesterday too, and I know it's. I'm sorry if you're hearing this twice. Anybody in chat. You've probably heard that they're giving Tetris shirts for the Red Cross if you donate blood. A great thing to do. Go out and donate blood today. I did this. I went out and I donated blood. But because I'm Ben Mullen and I'm prone to mistakes, I went to Memorial Blood Centers. Also a fantastic outfit, but they're not the Red Cross, and so they had no idea what I was talking about when I asked about a shirt. And I just want you all to know that even my blood drops are misdrops. I'll be here all day, folks. Kirby has the Red Cross shirt. A slight tingling. Whenever a player Ben Mullen experiences a slight tingling in his earlobes. I like being able to read chat. This is some good content you guys are giving us.
Well, chat loves you, Ben. They know, they acknowledge the icon. They know how meaningful your impact was in those years you've been playing at the highest levels back then, right? So
I was good for a little while once. It was a good run. It was fun. And now it's really fun to be a commentator. It's a lot less stressful, although it's still a little stressful.
Well, you're doing, Ben, listen, the crowd loves you. They want more Ben Mullen on the cons, and I think we found our Tony Romo here in the world of classic Tetris.
I like to think of myself as Charles Barkley.
Oh, man.
Have you seen his commentary in the NBA?
Oh, man. We got to get the, well, no plugs here. We got to get some sandwich sponsorships for you, Ben, right?
Quaid is probably Charles Barkley, honestly.
I think he's more Dennis Rodman.
Oh, yeah, he's Dennis Rodman to a T.
Right, the original. 481 for Huff, 473 for DMJ.
Yeah, both screens are just effectively tied still, and they're both very high score rates, both at the top well, actually the top, Huff and DMJ are both lower score rates. And this is indicative of two great players with piece sets that maybe aren't as good. And that's a testament to why the same piece set is so important in competitive gameplay.
Right.
You're either both going to suffer or no one's going to suffer. Exactly. So it's equivalent suffering, you're tied, everything's fine.
Very true. As we moved on to transitions here, Huff and DMJ continue their war at the top, 20,000 points the difference.
Above 700K on level 20. Wow.
Yeah, no, Alex had a high 600K transition going in, but Sodium, look at Sodium keeping up, and he's taking the lead right back. That one has been back and forth the whole way.
Nobody's backing down. Really on either side. It's kind of incredible to watch this.
And Ben, what do you got to think about the level of probably nerves going on for some of these players? Yeah, I think Sodium, he's coming in as the underdog against Alex D, but he's pushing him. He's pushing Alex to have to play hard.
And it's a crazy thing to think of Sodium being an underdog. He's so incredibly great. But yeah, nerves get to everybody. They don't show it. All these guys look like they got ice water in their veins, but I'm sure there's nerves.
No, absolutely. But they're not showing it right now.
They're not showing it.
They're looking fierce, opening up a nice lead of 68,000 points. DMJ trying to keep it close to that, and we'll get it 42,000 down. It's 727 to 685 on the top. Alex at 841 and Sodium 837. Ooh, Ben, this is a banger.
There was a slight dig that had to happen, but it happened during a drought anyway, so no harm, no foul for Sodium and Alex. Kirby says nerves aren't a factor, and I tend to think that's right. They're just used to this. They're steamrolling this game, and they're doing inspiring things, frankly.
Well, I'm going to play devil's advocate on that for Kibby. Because,
okay.
We're in a new venue, but this is a larger space we're in. Higher production value going on. The eyes of the world are watching us right now as we're going deep into transition.
I do feel like this microphone alone is worth my 401k. It is a very high production value. And You all at home can't necessarily see this, but I know you believe it, but this is a high production value. There are people helping behind the scenes in a million different ways at this tournament, and it's why it looks so good. And is so good.
Oh, no, it is. It is. And you brought it together for us here. We're at 870 on the top, 856 for DMJ. Huff hanging on to a lead as we're getting close to that 29 play. Alex over 1 million points. Sodium over 1 million points. Sodium with a 50,000 point lead over one of the favorites.
Yeah, we got a real game down here on the bottom.
Oh, and Huff is going to top out, Ben.
Huff tops out. Huff tops out.
And DMJ is
that happened all of a sudden. So
that came out of nowhere.
And DMJ is not the favorite. I think I recognize that Tetris blanket that comes from Five Below.
That's a great store.
And now we're into the kill screen for Sodium already.
Yeah, Alex
still
is down
solid.
87,000 points, Ben.
Alex has work to do, but he can do it.
If anyone's going to do it, Ben, Alex can do it. He's one of the masters of 29 speed. We know he's crashed the game. We know
as long as nerves don't get to this guy, he can do it. He's operating. Sodium has some problems on the screen right now. I don't know if it's enough problems to stop him.
Yeah, board getting up high for Sodium. He's got a 38,000 point lead. What he's trying to do, Ben, is just
Sodium, another misdrop. Sodium might have troubles. But Alex might have troubles too. I'm not sure.
And that'll do it for Sodium. He's got a
so he's got a 30,000 point chase down. He's got to operate. He knows what he needs to do. Can he do it?
Yeah, this is what they call the line-out merchant strats here, Ben.
This guy's got ice water running through his veins. It's just incredible to watch him play.
All that grinding, all that streaming that he does to show you how he plays 29, Ben, it's going to pay off as he's now less than 10,000 points.
Just an absolute machine. If this guy were in the Matrix, he'd be an agent. Oh, and that's
done
okay.
to
So
Mr.
we've
Smith
got
right there.
Alex T and DMJ taking the first games. Congrats to all. It's the shirt. The shirt was the choice that made that victory happen.
Absolutely, Ben.
And the gameplay. It was incredible gameplay.
That's a key. That's a key right there, Ben. Of course, the gameplay is so important. But kudos to DMJ and Alex T. They'll get the first game here on each of their sets. Look at that Tetris rate for Sodium, 65%. I'm going to get our James Chen here, right? So 65% for Sodium. Alex is 58%. But in this era now, Ben, the Tetris rate really doesn't play too much of a factor because of how they can play in 29 and just stretch out the points as long as they can.
Yeah, the ability to stretch it out at the end means. And they both had roughly the same Tetris rate by the time they hit the kill screen. So that's really what really matters.
All right, so players are ready to go. We're going to count it down in 3, 2, 1.
Tetris! And we're off to the races in game 2. And we calm down and talk about other things while they set up the easy lines. We call these the easy lines.
These are the easy ones, so we can talk a little bit here about some other stuff, right? We got Alex T and Soda. We talked about Huff and DMJ. DMJ consistent 1.1 level player, ranked number 26 in the premier poll that we have that Pumpy puts out there. Alex T and Sodium, they've only played one time outside of this.
Really?
And Alex is 1-0.
1-0 Alex, okay.
And Sodium has been really, as I mentioned, he's an original Five of the Kings here, Ben. But he won a regional in order to earn a spot here, and not to, he started to qualify, but somewhat guaranteed a spot at this point.
Sure.
He won the Boston Tea Parity. You notice the way it's spelled there, Ben.
And I want to go on the record saying that's the best name for a Tetris tournament that I have heard.
I should have invited you for that one as a special.
Yeah, that's a dad joke wrapped up in a name. I
All
love
the puns for days you could have had there. But yeah, Sodium won that. And the thing is that, Ben, that Fractal, this was his event that he organized. He played in this, and he didn't even make it to the finals. He was defeated in semifinals.
Oh, and Fractal not making finals is absurd.
That was a big
so the
deal.
gameplay must have been absurd.
That was a big deal. So Sodium's ranking on the premier poll is 17th. Alex T, of course, when we talk about the FMS, that Scout and Marfrum love to talk about, that fair median score, Ben. And, you seem like you're a numbers guy. So
I like numbers now and again.
That fair median score, kind of just talking about like their average range of scoring in matches.
Yeah.
And, at certain points, like do they have intentional top outs or non-intentional because of mullining and stuff like that. So
I've seen the stats on his fair median score. I just want to point out that Alex T right now has a board that it certainly won't kill him, but it looks not wonderful. And so this will probably put him down just a bit in score, but he's getting it down. You know what I really love about Tetris?
What is it, Ben?
Just as a game, and about the competitors in Tetris. I follow sports. I don't really follow team sports as much because it's muddy what makes a person good. But I do follow things like track and field, professional swimming. And the reason I follow things like that is very similar to why I love Tetris. To be very good at them makes you almost like a platonic form. To borrow a phrase from philosophy, like you become almost the perfect embodiment of placement decisions and execution. And what we see when some of these guys play, it's like watching a platonic form operate live on screen. And it's a beautiful thing.
Ben, I have to ask you, because you're a legend, were you sitting in on class when Socrates gave that beautiful speech? Philosophizing
am I
about,
old enough to have been there live?
Were you old enough to be there, Ben? Some people might say.
I fed him the hemlock. And I felt bad ever since.
Do you have dinner with Play-Doh?
Oh, God. Terrence Howard has entered the chat. Oh, my God. I've been watching some Terrence Howard things, and I just want to affirm to everyone, 1 times 1 equals 1. What a guy.
Apparently fans not happy we're missing line spins here, Ben, while you're philosophizing, but that's okay. We're in the early days here. We are past the halfway marker for all players. 355 for Huff, 258 for DMJ. Nice healthy lead for Huff to start. Meanwhile, Alex T, Sodium, what a shock, Ben.
Yeah, so we got the people who are up now. Oh, wait, no, that'd be wrong. Never mind what I was about to say. So they're all doing well.
They're all doing well, but Huff having a little bit of a bigger lead, right? Nice delayed burn set up for DMJ. Looking for that J, but the Z does the job and bringing this board back down. Ben, Huff told me, you mentioned about the Tetris blanket there. Huff said, kind of cold in the convention, air conditioning.
Yeah, it's some areas get a little cold, which is good, I think, well, it's not good for the hands.
That's what
I don't like cold hands when I play.
I was going to lead to that. Huff has been complaining about very cold hands.
Yeah.
I shook Huff's hand earlier. It's ice cold.
Yeah.
And it's very difficult to be able to roll with an icy cold hand. I mean, let alone, if you're a DAS player and you have cold hands, it's hard to be moving that defense.
It's hard,
It might be easy, but it's not, right, Ben?
A lot of times when I was really playing a lot, and because I live in Minnesota, so it gets real cold, I would have to get home and I'd run my hands under hot tap water before I played just to be able to effectively operate. But yeah, you don't want cold hands for this game.
No. I mean, this is the one game that you can't play. It was like, we go back to some of the old stuff where you can play. Maybe did you ever try playing Tetris with like a U-Force or something like that? You just have your hand, or maybe the Power Glove. Ben.
Oh my God, playing with non-standard controllers is there should be some high score categories just for that.
Yeah, there should be. I think you can get into that, Ben. We can see you break some records again.
Do we have a high score category for the
Shredder?
For the Shredder?
Probably.
Has anybody?
Probably. Well, I'll ask Mark.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
We'll relay that.
He's probably looking it up and typing it right now.
For it. Or you can just ask Steve to look and say, "I got to level like 20, bro."
Chat probably knows. All right, so just a quick score update because we are nearing transition. Sodium's up by barely, I guess. Probably not even up given the score rate. So very, very close. But Huff does have a lead. That we could call a lead.
Oh, Sodium has got trouble here, Ben.
Oh, Sodium does have serious trouble.
That only burned
and that's going to end Sodium. And that's going to give Alex T a 2-0 lead.
Tough one for Sodium there, Ben. Like, you saw he went aggressive. He tried to see if he could get that instead of filling that dependency in the middle. And then he had a J coming, but the J would have just blocked everything. So you had to go for it. You had to go all in.
Yeah. I believe last night at the while we were out together having fun, I referred to the prospect of beating Alex T as similar to trying to beat an F5 tornado in a competition to blow out candles. And that's about what it looks like.
Meanwhile, we got action going on here at the top.
Okay, it looks like we're ready to count down.
Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris for our guys here.
3, 2, 1. Tetris. Actually, they've already started. Okay. It's all right.
No, we got he knows what he's doing. Ronckley on the spot there. He's the best.
If you want whatever Ben Mullen is drinking, you got to drink some Starbucks coffee and water right now.
Yes, right now.
Right now.
Ben will, I guess, Facebook out later. What? Because you don't tweet, Ben, right?
Yeah, I don't really tweet. I'm an old guy. I'm on Facebook,
You're
which
not
I
an
know
Instagrammer?
it's basically a boomer thing at this point.
Any Ben TikTok? Are we gonna get a Ben Mullen?
No, you're never going to get a Ben Mullen TikTok. I do show up on Discord once every 4 months.
That's true.
And I say one thing, and then I leave.
You come out of hibernation, and
Yeah.
we'll get Ben. Dust him off mothballs to get him over here. But Ben, honestly, the world loves you, man. Chad is loving Ben Mullen.
My wife is annoyed enough at how I don't respond to people well enough that she is going to be joining Discord. So if anyone needs to get a hold of me,
Right.
you're going to want to find Mary Mullen.
Oh, nice delayed spin there for Sodium, but battle at the top continues, Ben.
The battle at the
We're
top
still in game 2 of Huff and DMJ with Huff getting a 135,000 point lead.
And somebody in chat asked, did Sodium top early? Yes, by modern standards. I wouldn't call that an early top out for me. That would be a pretty normal time to top out.
Ben considers level 19 the kill screen
Yeah.
these days, so it's okay. But we're about getting set to get to kill screen on our end, Ben. That top match, Huff trying to get back in the game, trying to tie this one up. 162,000 point lead and adding more to it. This is a cushy lead.
It's a big one. So Huff really does have a lead here, and that would even it up. So it would just be I like to see deciders. You know, if I'm rooting for Alex T, that's my number one. But the next thing I like, deciders.
Absolutely.
So give me them deciders, baby.
Always got a good decider. We get thirsty for those. But right now we're worried about game 2. 250,000 point lead, Ben.
Chat asks, does Harry Hong follow Ben on MySpace? Harry Hong follows me on the street.
Well, I think you guys might have looked up back on Friendster in the day.
Oh, yeah. He's in my GeoCity.
Oh, Ben, you're dating yourself now.
He's the mayor of GeoCity.
Here's the mayor of 29. Huff is going to top.
Oh, and Huff tops out. Oh, my goodness. This gives a chase down attempt, but is he going to be able to make it?
Oh, what a triple from
It
DMJ.
looks hard. That looks hard, honestly. Oh, but he gets that over.
What a flat burn.
I cannot. Getting that over is going to make this a game. DMJ is going to shock the world, maybe. We shall see.
Nicely, yeah.
He's got a ways to go.
119,000 points, so definitely going to need 1 or 2 Tetris here, Ben, because the Tetris are weight on them.
Yeah, he's got a ways. He's doing it. He's operating. All right. Alex T with a monster lead of 3,420.
That is quite monstrous, yeah. DMJ still fighting here, Ben.
DMJ heard that he wasn't the favorite, and he's like, nah, man, I'm doing this. Watch me operate. And I'm watching him. I'm impressed.
And here's the thing, Ben, right? You got to think like Huff had a 250,000 point lead at one point here.
Nothing to
DMJ
sneeze
has
at.
chopped it down. A little bit of a T problem now.
Ooh, so this could be.
Look at these solves here for the burns.
The
by
burns
DMJ.
are incredible. It's just a great amount of wisdom. And oh, that was a bit of a misstep
there.
there.
The hang. This is a problem for DMJ.
This is going to be a serious problem. This might end it.
And that will
does
do it.
end
The run
it.
is over. DMJ cannot catch.
A noble chase down effort. Really,
Yeah,
chopped down a 250,000 point lead down to 62 on the kill screen.
That was incredible.
Made a believer out of me.
Absolutely. Wow, what an exciting game number 2. That one was at the top. They'll be tied 1-1 as we get set to continue on the bottom. They've already begun game 3. Alex up 2-0. Sodium up 75, now 52,000 points. The Tetris are getting exchanged. We're getting close here, Ben, to the Joey Parker turn.
The Joey Parker. Us old people have heard of the Joey Parker
Let's
turn.
give a shout out to our friend in New Zealand now.
We should give shout outs to the people we like. Yeah, Joey Parker has moved to New Zealand with the fam.
Let's count out down our game over here in
3, 2, 1, Tetris.
They'll get started at the top.
So if you're old, the transition means something, and so does the kill screen. And the 100 lines is kind of a moment to check in, to ready yourself for that transition.
Yes.
And to check in on your score. I always like to say 400 to 100 is good. I mean, that's a reasonable score.
It is, yes.
So, yeah. that's the Joey Parker turn, and he coined it, and so it's his.
He definitely did, and as he should. You know, all those.
Frantic Thumb wants a shout out to go to Terry, and here's the shout out. Hi Terry, I love you, buddy. I wish you were here. Terry's one of my very best friends in Tetris. He actually comes to visit me in Minneapolis.
Oh, he does.
Just to hang out.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We actually went with my son, my at the time 5-year-old, to a mausoleum because they like to go to grave sites because they're very beautiful gravestones. And my son asked me, What is this church for? And I'm like, actually, this is a graveyard, son. And the look he gave me when he understood what we were in, it was just the funniest look a kid has ever given a dad.
Well, you know, that's the Ben Mullen dad for you. He's one of the best, and we have moved on to transitions now, Ben.
Well, we have
maybe your
indeed.
Tetris son, I guess. Alex T, continue to rock on. About an 840-point lead there, Ben.
Wow. Just so close the whole game. It's amazing. It's like it's an instance of great minds thinking alike. All of their placements are wonderful, and they're just the same score, basically.
Now, Ben, at these high speeds, are you like taking notes maybe to like figure out how did he see that solve? Like, do you want to maybe get a chance to look at that?
Any Tetris is kind of slow enough to understand the piece placement strategy, so I really appreciate it. I couldn't do it physically, but I learned things looking at these guys. They're very intelligent placement.
And they're doing solves here, not for nothing, Ben. You know, we give a lot of credit to the young guys innovating a lot of different placements and maneuvers. But, you know, the recent Best of 5 movie that came out, thanks to Chris Higgins, we'll give a shout out there. He had shown some of the gameplay that you guys back then had your own moves and were kind of setting the standard.
Oh, yeah.
Could be done with Tetris.
We weren't terrible. And when you talk about the old guys and good piece placement strategy, that's really why Jonas is the GOAT. Why we call him the GOAT, because his use of spins and tucks and pole vaults was ahead of anybody else's and way before anybody else could do it. So there is a reason Jonas Neubauer is the GOAT of Tetris, and his piece placement strategy is a big part of it. And his personality.
Of course.
He made the community happen in so many ways.
He did. It was all thanks to him. As you see, the fruits of that labor are showing right now. Alex T, someone that certainly is a character in this community. 874 for him, 859 for Sodium. Ben, this match between the two, it's been just so close the whole
It's so close, and it almost is unfair that it's 2-0 at the moment because it's so close the whole way. And it really, because it's so close, it's just definitely comes down to post-kill screen play. Which it's gonna this time as well.
Yeah, again, we got 957 for Sodium. That aggressive J setup, you saw that, Ben. So you take that burn and just, try to get it reset. They're not aggressive. Tetris for Sodium, a 16,000 point lead gone, and right back again.
We got two max outs in one game. It used to be, it was only like 2018 when this was the most amazing thing ever to see two max outs in one game. I think it was Green Tea and Jonas who were the first to do it.
The max outs?
Yeah, have both max out in the same game. And Joseph. Okay, Joseph. And now it's just like normal. Oh, he's in trouble. He's in a little trouble. Oh, no!
He's gonna tap
Okay,
out.
so that's gonna...
There's that aggression, Ben. Alex was just building to the sun. No bar coming.
Even Alex T can make mistakes, so that's reality. And we're seeing a bit of a Mullen here, which I appreciate being a Mullen myself.
Of course, right?
So thank you for that, Mr. Sodium.
Sodium doing it for you. Want that bar, but the bar. Oh, he sneaks it in and gets a Tetris at the bottom just for the hell of it.
Incredible.
100,000 point lead is the difference. Nicely done. Sodium stays alive here, Ben. It's 2-1 over on the bottom.
Shout out to all the Huffaluffa girls in the crowd.
Thank you.
There's a Huffaluffa girl group, and they're wearing sashes, and so is Huff.
Good old Ben Mullen coming through. He knew what to say. All right, we're almost getting set there, getting the siege.
Oh, Mullening. Oh. So I'm gonna explain mullining for chat.
We'll explain mullining once these guys get ready to go. Waiting on the signal.
Oh, we're ready to go. Yeah.
Almost. We're waiting on. We're getting almost a thumbs up. We got the thumbs up now, Ben, so we can count them down.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And so mullining, the quick explanation of what a mullen is this guy. Somebody got it right on here. Tam Rocker 45. You keep playing after you've already won. It's an ignominious way to become famous, but it's my way to become famous, and I kept playing once on Yanni.
And it's inspired, that young man on the bottom left to say he's in favor of mullins.
Yeah, because it allows you to show the crowd what you can do.
Oh, a little bit of a sharky bro for DMJ at the top there. That's that inverted T placement that you don't try to do. It's a little bit of a misflip.
Yeah.
So that's causing him to be delayed. But nearly 100,000 point lead for DMJ at the top.
Yeah, so he'll survive this little bit of burning he has to do because of that. But nobody likes to have to burn. And speaking of burning, Alex T had to burn a little bit because of a little bit of a misdrop, but that's all right. He's back and ready to go.
Alex T burning, is that something new there?
It is almost something new. And the Alex T sodium thing, they've been so even that they just raise in score at the same rate constantly. So you burn a little bit and you get a 39,000 point deficit, it's going to stay for 100 lines, basically. Which is fine. You got the kill screen.
We have the kill screen. And look at that. That dig from DMJ, look how much it's cost him.
Yeah.
Had a nice size lead, nearly 100,000 points. It's been shaved down by 2/3. 39,000 points the difference. Huffster got to slam a Tetris for the Hubba Lubba girls out there. Delayed burn to open it up. We're waiting for the bar. That's the best part here, Ben. Is always waiting for that bar when you've got all the board looking so nice and pretty.
True that.
Out there.
True that. Ooh, we got.
This is now for Huffster.
Okay, I almost worried of Alex T's stack getting too high. I don't like it. He's getting pieces that don't fit.
Oh, and DMJ's going to top out here.
Oh, DMJ did top out early.
And Huff of that Tetris is going to take the lead.
And
go
so
up.
Huff goes 2-1. 2-1 Huff. Okay.
There you go.
These things happen. This is DMJ's chance to force a decider right here. That's all this is.
I mean, see how quickly that changed at the drop of a hat, Ben, right?
Yeah.
Where, DMJ had control of the lead, nearly 100,000 points, and then got into that dig during transition to slow down. And it comes back, and we can't get out.
Yeah, and we got a little bit of a suffer situation for Alex, and Sodium had to burn a bit too, so he didn't get to build a huge lead based off that, but he's got a, at this point, notable lead of 86,000. I see in chat it says Alex T is the digger of all time. Yeah, he can dig out a stack. Okay.
All right, yeah, you can see here at the top, Ben.
Ooh, this makes me nervous.
Huff is feeling cold.
Yeah. Okay, we got it.
Huff trying to get comfortable here, Ben, to just get ready. Very, very important game number 4 coming up. We're ready to go, Ben. We're gonna count them down.
All right. In 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Huff is freezing. Oh.
They're gonna take a moment. They're gonna see if they can help Huff warm up the hands.
Yeah, Huff's a guy who gets a little cold. And Alex has a misdrop at the top of his screen. He'll be able to clear that out easily, but that is going to cost some score.
Did you see that roll, Ben?
Amazing. Amazing.
That was crazy there.
Okay, he's going to be able to clear this out pretty nicely now. But he does have now a 120-ish thousand point deficit.
Exactly what Sodium need here, Ben, to get back in this one. You maybe want to steal another game and force the decider.
Just really rough RNG there for a second. So we're
good to go on the other game.
And in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
So they'll get that 4th game at the top started. We're still watching the game 4 here on the bottom.
It's in suffer game territory right now, I think, for Alex. He can come out of anything, and I believe he will, but it is at the moment suffer territory.
Tetris for Sodium to take a 200,000 point lead.
Yeah.
That's very surprising when you hear about Alex T, that someone has a 200,000 point lead on you.
Yeah.
In this portion of level 18. We're about getting close to 19.
His kill screen abilities are legendary, so he might not even be all that worried. He probably shouldn't be all that worried. Rather a lead than a deficit, but we'll take what we can get.
All right, so Sodium looking, screen checking, trying to see how far is Alex T at. What's your score, bro? I need to know. It's a 160,000 point lead in favor of Sodium as we're going to get set to the 19 play, Ben.
All right. This is where the fun really starts at 19. And I don't even think of the 29 as fun. It's more like a gripping terror that overtakes me watching them play that. All right, they're in 19 now, and they are operating. Both operating very well. Couple of champs. It's really a pleasure to watch them both do what they do. Because I don't sit and watch enough Tetris probably at home, but they are stunningly good at this game.
All right, we have transition now. We are on level 21s for our players on the bottom. All the players on the top are just getting settled in on their 18 play. 163,000 points. He's not running up. Sodium is not running up.
Yeah, it's actually gotten a little lower then, I guess. Sodium did have a very slight dig before. Multiple long bar dependencies for Alex, which can't help. So he's got to dig a little bit for that. And gets out of it like it's nothing. Okay.
Here's the thing, Ben, right? So even though Alex is down 160,000 points, you mentioned his 29 play, very superior. We know what he can do. But he is up 2-1, so he can feel himself to say, you know what, let me slow it down. I can take my time. I can be down as much, but you know what, as long as Sodium can top out at some point in 29, he can go aggressive down.
Sodium is in the more fatalistic situation of having to win to force a decider. But winning the game last game made a believer out of me. I was very impressed. All right. The lead stays at about 200 almost. So.
Yeah, level 25. Those nice colors here, right, Ben? Those are some gorgeous colors.
Oh.
But the speed is a whole different story.
Oh, I get so nervous watching this. They're not even nervous playing it, but I'm nervous watching it.
Ben's beside himself wondering, how do you do it?
Because if I were in some of these board states, I would be dead in the next frame.
Oh, look at Sodium here.
Sodium does have, well, he'll probably get out of it.
Okay.
That was a potential problem.
Yeah, I thought he was going to try to roll that bar to the left side to give him that room, but he's wisely put it. He's got
a clean stack.
It up, yeah.
That burning was just enough to knock down that lead.
What a setup from Sodium. Just see that, Ben? He put the overhang of the square to tuck the J in.
Oh, yes.
Tetris up and he had the score. My God,
beautiful.
Solved.
All right, we're about to get max outs from both of them, and we got it from Sodium, and we are about to get it.
It's 100,000 points. So Alex has been able to cut it by 100,000 points at this juncture. We're about to get set for 29 play, Ben. Square.
Okay, we're on kill screen for Alex with a 95,000 deficit. And we're on kill screen for Sodium.
Oh, what a Tetris for Alex to cut that down. Sodium missed the flat burn.
So Sodium might be allowing a chase down here if he can't get out of this.
Oh, this is so tough for Sodium. Oh, the square timing came in at the wrong time. And
Alex is up just like that. He cut that down quickly. Incredible. And Alex with a beautiful win. And that is the match as well. Sodium, incredible gameplay. Fighting, almost interrupting another match. So don't do that, please.
There we go. Now he can take the flat bump. Now. They're going at it, Ben. They're going at it. They're roughhousing. And the ref has to break it up.
The ref has to break it up.
Alex walks away victorious as they jaw at each other. They're going to go one-on-one, toe-to-toe.
Incredible.
Later
It is.
tonight.
It's
My God, Alex T victorious over Sodium.
violent Tetris here today, ladies and gentlemen.
Almost a little bit of mishap there.
Speaking, oh. Well, what do we got? So we have Alex T moving on, which I expected, but Sodium put up just a heck of a fight.
I mean, Ben,
Incredible.
that's telling you the kind of gameplay we're going to see all day today. They're not going to be easy games. They're not going to be easy. We want to win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. Well, since we're on to Huff and DMJ, and we're going to watch them battle it out. Huff's screen is a little bit less perfect, but it's about to be fixed. No troubles.
555 for Huff, 641 for DMJ. So DMJ with the lead here.
Someone
Ben.
says everything Alex does is a joke, guys. Calm down. Oh, no, that was a real fight, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm kidding. That's probably fake.
Well, Ben was about to run in and
They're-
like save Alex.
They're good friends. The only kind of serious thing that almost did happen is he did almost fall into the gameplay of DMJ, which would be a problem in the
would have been a
tournament.
problem.
That would have been an
That
actual
would have been a
problem.
problem. But
Thankfully, that didn't happen. We
Alex
move
has great balance there.
He
Ben.
was-
was
had
able to
great
support
balance,
himself
great
and
poise.
save that. DMJ a pro, not affected.
unaffected. What other kind of shout-outs should we give?
Ben is a big shout-outer. So.
Yeah. The shout-outs to some of the old players. Y'all remember Dana Wilcox? Incredible. Dana.
Oh, she was incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. It's come many years. Dana, come back. I want to hang out.
I'm sure Dana's probably still incredible, but we're in level 23.
Yeah, she is.
Tetris for DMJ. 845 for DMJ, 706 for the Hupster.
And a lot of the older players, they don't come anymore because we can't win against these folks. But what they got to realize is this is just a lot of fun.
Oh, it's so much fun.
They'll
here.
treat you like royalty even if you don't deserve it. They do that for me. So come to a tournament and just enjoy yourselves.
And of course, buy Ben a drink if you're around the bar. He'll be there later.
Yeah, feel free to buy me a drink.
162,000 points for DMJ. He's looking at maybe a max out on level 26 here, Ben, while
Wow.
the Hupster is still trying to fight through, keep that 2-1 in favor of the Huff.
Well, I don't normally commentate on things that aren't on my stream, but Fractal may be close to being put out. And that would be a big one.
Yeah, something crazy happening here. Meanwhile, over on our stream, it's 200,000 point lead for DMJ.
Big lead. DMJ is putting up a hell of a fight in this tournament.
Burns by DMJ to keep this board alive. 135,000 point lead over Huff.
Yeah.
We are approaching 29 on DMJ's side. Huff still has about 12 lines left to go.
Yeah, this could be the thing that forces the decider here. And I would love to see a decider, so I'm rooting for it, but really amazing gameplay by DMJ. I think he heard he wasn't the favorite, and he just used that rage to become. And he's not a guy who looks like he ever experiences rage, but I like to think that there's rage. Like, the heck with this, I am winning, and maybe he is.
We're in the 29 play. Ben Huff gonna get a triple to bring this down. We've got about 9 more levels to go, Ben, before that 39 super kill screen takes into effect.
Yeah.
The Hupster,
Huff
trouble on the board. Oh, what a
trouble! A little more
time
trouble!
for the hang.
Oh! And ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a decider. Excellent work, DMJ. Good fight, Huff.
The
and on to the decider.
Nubbins Goody shirt there, Ben.
Hard not to root for a Nubbins Goody
Fueling
shirt.
the fire for DMJ today. Maybe
Yeah.
he's getting some higher power presented upon him.
Yeah, but a lot of people think Huff is cold. He's actually hiding his shame in not wearing a Nubbins Goody shirt with that.
Good old Ben, of course. Maybe we should get the Hupster a Nubbins Goody shirt. What do you think? I mean, there is some history behind that. We'll talk about that once this game number 5 comes up.
There's history behind the.
Well,
the shirt?
behind the Hupster and the link to the Nubbins Goody, we'll talk about that.
Oh,
once
yeah,
this game
I can't wait to
started
hear.
for game number 5.
Thank you for the $5 donation. Good Tetris or Sodium. If you're on Twitch and you type an exclamation point Macharino, you can get the link to that. And all you gotta do.
So we're waiting on the start of this next game. Players getting a moment. We're waiting on thumbs up.
We're about to do a countdown.
Huff getting settled in again. Again, you can see Ben, the cold playing a factor on Huff. Just cannot maybe get comfortable. Even though we have the glove on the rolling hand, it's still the other hand too that you need to be.
Oh yeah, you need them both. You need them both to operate, because if it's cold, you're not gripping quite right. And at this point, you know, Huff came in the favorite, and people were thinking he'd probably win this one. And I don't know how I feel anymore. I think this is anybody's game entirely.
It is anybody's game.
The DMJ is just operating on another level.
How it is in the World Championships. I mean, it's anybody's ball game.
Yeah. We've already seen one upset on the other stream, and it's possible we'll see another here.
All right, Huff's going to forget the blanket. Just say, I'm going to tough it out. We are ready to go. Ben, let's count them down.
In 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
We will get our 5th and final game of this matchup. Alex T advancing already, 3-1 win over Sodium. Huff and DMJ tied 2 apiece. The decider, Ben, to move on to the top 8.
It is. I feel heart palpitations just watching this. This is just an incredible thing to see.
It is incredible. Now, we mentioned, kind of give a teaser before they started, Ben. We talked about the link between Huff and the Dubbins Goody. Well, Huff was the last player to play Jonas in the CTWC.
Oh, really?
Yes, back in 2020 when we played online, Jonas and Huff played in the final round to get to the top 8.
Oh.
So there was a top 16 match similar to like what we're doing right here. So how fitting is it that the parallel is here, that we have such a big supporter of the Nubbins Goody.
We got a Nubbins Goody shirt versus the Huff.
Jonas for the last time.
Well.
Isn't life funny like that, Ben?
It is. It's full of whimsy, mystery, and connections.
You can't write stories like that, Ben. I try to with my Friday Night Fight show. I try to write these evolved storylines, but this one is just organic.
Yeah. And you know, Jonas was a guy. There's so much good to say about Jonas, but we want to remember that he was a very competitive person too. And here's a story about the competitive fire of Jonas. He once beat me. He gave me a game. He did a terrible game once. After he beat me, he leaned over and said, "I beat you even though I gifted you a game."
Gifted you.
And I'm like, oh. So I had fire in my heart towards him that day, but he was just that good. There's no beating the guy.
Well, there was. I think Bidwell likes to tell the story about how you did that interview and were like, I apologize for what I'm about to do. I think that was legendary. And then Jonas wiped the floor with you after that.
But that was the kind of thing a mouse says about what they're going to do to a lion before they get eaten by the lion, to be honest with you.
With a big contribution here for the Macharino, $1,000.
Heard that over the loudspeaker there. $1,000 contribution from Takanairis. He's actually here. He's actually here, Ben. He's been watching the show this week, and he said it's so much fun. He's loving the CTWC vibe. He's a big supporter of what we do. So thank you so much. We do have a Macharino. So for those of you that are here in our CT chat, you can go ahead and use exclamation point Macharino. That'll take you to the link so that you can continue to add to the price. But we had a huge contribution yesterday, Ben. $10,000 from Scott Gray, of course. He was right in the front there to give us that big contribution.
Incredible.
So there's a lot of cash coming in. So if you are someone that can help support and give the money goes to the players. It's not going to my pocket. It's not going to Ben's pocket, although I'm sure he would love to see some of that change. The players get all that money.
And from the looks of their age, it's probably going to their college fund.
I mean, Fractal won the biggest prize pool in Classic Tetris with the CTM Mega Masters, $10,000. So I'm sure that'll fit the bill for his fall semester coming up.
That's gonna help. That's gonna help. All right, so there's not a huge amount to say yet about the game. Huff was up a little, and then he suffered a bit, and now he's down a little, but not much. So it's a classic decider, very close. probably their hearts are just beating out of their chests. Oh, that square was unfortunate. You never want to get a square in that situation.
I don't think you want to square in many situations here.
Yeah.
I know for a fact here, Ben, that the Huffaluffa girls probably watching with bated breath. That's our friends J1-103, Zempro, and Tyler are all the big supporters of the Huffaluffa girls.
Yeah.
Tetris for the Hubster to go to 409, 425 for DMJ, keeping the lead. 39,000 points.
It's like the purest form of Tetris right now because there's no way to say who might win. It's a thing of beauty to watch this.
Oh, without question, it definitely is. Coming close to the 100 line, Joey Parker turn. Hubster gets there with a Tetris. DMJ at 101, a 5,000 point lead. Ben, this is a tight one as we get set for the big race on 19.
I kind of wonder, does anybody ever call Huff the Magic Dragon? Or is that too old a song to reference to the youth?
It might be for many.
Am I? Okay, so maybe us boomers will call him Huff the Magic Dragon.
Yeah, Stanislav says you are far too old, so don't even try it.
If he ever plays DAS, he could be Huff the Magic DAS Man.
Oh, Ben, I love commentating
I
with you.
just can't.
You got the zingers all
I
day long.
I don't even know of any good jokes I have yet. I got to think of some.
No, but you might be noticing here. That's an interesting stat on your screen that folks are watching. You have the bottom right there of DMJ, the runway score. That's something that's a feature of Nestor's Champs. That it allows you to kind of get, based on the pace that these players are going at, what they could potentially transition with. So DMJ with a 637 potential, but reality is going to be that it's not going to get there because of these burns coming up.
Yeah.
Huff will transition first at 557. DMJ now at 616. Here we go, Ben. So it is the fantastic finale.
We have got a finale, and we are on level 19, and we're close. Yeah, those runways really do kind of help you see what could happen, but it's with perfect outcomes. One additional shout out to our crowd behind us. They're looking great. They are enthused, and they're loving this game right now.
Well, we're loving all of them. So,
and thank you to all of you at home, especially in the chat. You're the fire within me.
We got a drought formed here, Ben.
Oh.
Finally kicked out of it. Hubster had to endure it first, but DMJ maintains. It's about 40,000 point lead. Tetrises are going to fly between, so you're going to get 40 to 70,000 point differentials at any given point here, Ben.
I feel like it's going to come down to that kill screen play and how stable can they be?
Level 22 for DMJ will get the Tetris to go to 23. Huff is about anywhere between 2 to 6 lines ahead of DMJ.
Yeah, and if he keeps on playing perfect, well, he can't now. Anytime you see these burn, that looks tough.
Hubster's gonna fall.
Oh, and Huff.
That's it for Huff.
It's DMJ who's on.
And DMJ with the nubbin goodie.
It was
empowering him, Ben.
It was a sudden, disastrous set of drops. It happens to all of us. Incredible gameplay. Oh, look at those muscles.
Incredible ending there. Huff, a problem with the square. We had a square hole on the right side. Did not go for an L spin that could have helped that board. Opted not to go and wait for that square. And for once, Ben, the square doesn't come.
The square doesn't come for once. And it was tragedy and it was triumph. Pumpy.
Tragedy and triumph all along there. So a tough ending for the Hubster. Cannot go 5 times into the top 8. Huff has been in the top 8.
It would have been 5 times. Huh?
Since 2020 to 2023.
Wow.
4 times Huff made it to the top 8.
That's an incredible run. it's an incredible run to have that kind of longevity getting into top 8.
Man, what a match, Ben.
What a match.
So, Ben, I'm going to step away. I'm going to go announce the next group of players to come up. So,
Okay.
if you want to stall,
I'll stall.
philosophize for our friends there. So
I'll tell a
they
few
hear the
jokes.
Ben Mullen. Tell some Ben Mullen stories. And
Someone in chat says Huff Daddy. Huff Daddy is no longer referenceable.
you know, Ben, while I step away, we could always talk about our friends at Enhance. So why don't you?
Oh
give
yeah,
us a
let me.
little
I'm gonna give a shout out to some of our sponsors, specifically to Enhance TEC. Think you can stack against the best in classic Tetris? Test your skills by playing the classic score attack game mode available within Tetris Effect Connected. Whether you're aspiring for a personal best high score in single player or keen to take on the world head-to-head in CTWC inspired multiplayer, Tetris Effect Connected will scratch that itch. Since the game's original release in November of 2018, the title has been released on all major gaming platforms and is currently the only Tetris game with full cross-platform support, allowing you to play players around the world. Whether you prefer to play in VR, on your console, PC, or through the cloud, we are all connected. Head to www.tetriseffect.game/events to keep up to date on upcoming Tetris Effect connected tournaments and subscribe to the Enhance newsletter. Oh yeah. And I do own that game. I enjoy it myself. It's true.
All right, folks. What a first set of games. That was incredible.
We are in the middle now of announcing some of our next matches.
Tremendous job. But, you know, I got called.
Will Miles be here on CT1 or on CT1? Miles is actually he's changed his name to Kilometers, and he's moving to Europe.
I mean, it's pretty well known.
So that's a good question. Is where Miles is going to be? I think.
It's a funny story. So about
Where will Miles be? I don't have a good answer to that yet. Not until King comes back, because I know very little.
about a year ago, he was playing.
Yeah, you put Miles on a boat, you got nautical Miles, which is
He was wearing a biker helmet.
well, I don't know what that is.
Biker helmet, and but you couldn't see any of his hair, and so his match ended. I checked his stream. He was bald, or like he had a buzz cut, and I DM'd him, and I was like, no. That was it. Well, that's incredible. So hopefully the friendship has been trying to. Scooty, what did it mean to you to get to play your best friend here at the top?
Of course, if Miles did move to Europe, he'd be unbeatable, because if you convert Miles 2 kilometers, it's 1.6. And imagine his score times 1.6. That would not be beatable, I think, by anybody.
Congratulations to both of you. Well done.
Scooty was bald.
Congratulations to both of them.
I see boo, Ben, boo. Well, you got to turn those boos into boo-goes. There are children fighting on stage right now. I'm kidding, not children, competitors. But they are young. All right, we're calling up the 8 players. Here I'm going to give a shout out to another of our sponsors, Hyperkin. Hyperkin has supported the CTWC since the beginning. Over the past year, they have helped Tetris communities around the world by sending them NES consoles and controllers. Hyperkin leads the way in the retro and modern entertainment industry with unique, fun, and innovative items, including the retro end console. Check them out on hyperkin.com. Let's game.
On CT2, I would like the innovator of classic Tetris Rolling Cheese to come up. We'll be playing the TikTok megastar Miles.
It does look like Miles must be on CT1, if I'm interpreting this correctly.
Thank you.
But I hope you all like Gouda players because we got cheese over here. I'm going to make every cheese reference I possibly can. Y'all hear about the time Cheese crashed the game? There was debris everywhere. Debris? Oh, sorry. I botched that joke. Never mind. Now, if you take miles divided by cheese, what do you get? You get well, I started this joke without knowing the punchline. Nope, I'm done. Sorry. Wait, I see in chat somebody named Terry Purcell watching me being unable to deliver jokes. Terry, thank you for being here. You are live with me in Classic Tetris 2. We're about to watch the Double D's. Dengler and Dylan about to make it happen. I'm going to tell you guys a little shout out to what my favorite Tetris accomplishment was of the year. Because every year a lot of great things happen. But my favorite was the perfect max out. Tetris is all the way to max, and this was by Dengler, I believe. And you know, you could get it by being lucky, but he didn't get it by being lucky. Some of the things he had to do with spins and tucks would shock the world. It's one of the few Tetris games I've watched more than once, just out of enjoyment of it. It was unbelievable.
You know what's unbelievable, Ben? You're unbelievable because you're more than that.
I don't even believe myself half the time.
Is that what your wife tells you?
Are we supposed to eat these and shout out to them?
Of course we can, because, well, I mean, the fans won't see because we don't have our commentator cam here, but we can talk about the Tetris gummies. Our friends from Power Bears would like to celebrate your love for Tetris, and with the Tetris gummies, get ready to dive into the world of gaming with these incredible treats. We're talking about all 7 Tetramino shapes, Ben, all your favorites, including the square.
I just ate a long bar.
Oh, hey now. It's a gamer's paradise in gummy form. Don't let this game and snacking sensation slip through your finger. Grab yours now. They're available at all major retailers and online too. You can get that, Ben, if you want to have it shipped directly to you. And they do have international shipping for many locations, especially in Europe.
Oh, well, and I can affirm they do taste good. Sometimes things don't taste good, but these do.
they
thank
do.
goodness.
Well, you know, Chris Tang says they just boom in your mouth. Is that true, Ben?
I can't reference having just eaten a long bar and then say anything about Chris Tang. All right. People are asking, is Fractal out in chat? It is true. Fractal's out. There's going to be upsets in Tetris, ladies and gentlemen, and there have been actually 2, because Huff was upset by DMJ, which is a kind of a mild upset. That was actually close going in. But it has to happen the way it happens, you know?
You know, Ben, I just got word here from a good friend of mine, Mr. Rory79, who is watching somewhere, whether it's at home in Mexico or in the United Kingdom, where he's originally from. Confirmed, Mullen King commentary is awesome. That's it.
Mullen King commentary is some of the best commentary, and it's because both of us are some of the best looking people you'll ever meet. And that just exudes out our voices as well.
Oh, it's so true, Ben. I mean, you know, you are quite a handsome devil, but you are no king of the restreams.
I'm not a king of the restreams, that's true. I am just lucky in this community that people like me because I was there from the beginning.
So true. As we get to see our players now, Ben, we finally have them all. I'm very excited, Ben. I'm very excited that we get to call this one Cheese Miles. That's a match as old as Ben Mullen versus Mega Retro Man.
When it comes to the young players, if you put that in air quotes, they're some of the old young players. Because Cheese and Miles have been around for a while, and they are seasoned veterans. of the scene, and they are strong.
And you can see Cheese is wearing that Huffaluffa Girls sash, so must be the newest member of the Huffaluffa Girls.
Well, he's going to have to become not a fan if they face each other. Is that even possible? Oh, wait, no, it can't be. Because Huff has gone puff. Dylan versus Dangler. This is a match I'm kind of excited for. And I don't know, I said who I thought the favorites were last time, so I guess that's fair game. Who do I feel like they are now?
Well, in this one, I mean, again, if we're talking seed-wise, the Dangler and Miles would be your options for top seeds, advancing and favorites. But we know that doesn't always work out. You can find Dylan has been doing a great job. We are kicked off, Ben. Our second half of the top 16 has begun.
There we go.
And
all blue pieces on the bottom for a second.
All blue pieces.
I'm blue and I'm in need of a line.
We're going to get DMCA'd out, Ben. Are we going to get DMCA'd?
oh, goodness. Oh,
my goodness, Ben.
So I shouldn't sing popular music.
You're going to get this channel banned out there.
Well.
So let's take a look at the stats
I've once again killed Tetris.
Ben, let's do our part here and let's look at the stats. Let's take a look about Cheese versus Miles as the crowd is rooting on for the Dangler. 6-0 Cheese, lifetime against Miles. Again, another matchup where we've seen someone, own another player. But from the previous match with the Huff and DMJ, that changed. So maybe Miles could be the day for him.
It's 6-0 Cheese against a guy like Miles. Are some of those not recent though?
They have not played recently.
Miles has been on the upswing for a long time.
That's correct.
And I don't feel like that could be possible for anybody against Miles.
No, certainly not. Miles is one of those players that has been able to do everything with all the different plays. Maxed out with dash, maxed out with tap, and of course rolling, and has become the I believe is the 6th game crasher. Ben, he is the 6th person to ever crash the game.
And that means something. Whoever the next game crasher is the new Ben Mullen, because I was the 7th max out.
Oh, were you?
Back in the day.
All right.
So I don't know who you are next game crasher, but you're going to be Ben Mullen.
I mean, there's many others that are still trying to do it. You got Dog that is technically Dog has done it, but he just didn't have the crash enabled. He was going for a high score.
Oh, yeah.
So he's already surpassed that level that you would crash.
He was the 7th, wasn't he? But it was kind of not
unofficially, because you can't count it because he was not playing with that particular setting.
It is an interesting thing, and we can all debate it. I personally would accept it as an official crash because he got to the line number and did the thing that would certainly crash it. But we can debate that on Discord. We're all
civilized there, I guess.
Civilized Tetris players, but so Dog is the new Ben in my mind, at least.
Oh, and I got a shout out here, Ben. We love our shout outs. Savage Octagon. I don't know if you know who that is, Ben, but she is a lovely woman. I got to meet her at Hartford last year. She is a big fan of classic Tetris, but she's more in the Dr. Mario world, which we know is kind of like our cousin, right?
Yeah. The Dr. Mario is definitely the cousin, or at least step-nephew, of Tetris. And we get along great. Many years we've actually had a Dr. Mario tournament with the Tetris tournament. We didn't do that this year because, well, it's a lot to put on 2 different tournaments, so.
Yeah, Savage in the chat was like, I just dropped all my channel points on Cheese.
Oh.
That's the confidence level that she has.
I've been in an Aldi before and dropped a lot of money on Cheese, so I know exactly how you feel.
Some more info on our players before we let's get a score update real quick for the fans at home. 278 for Cheese, 311 for Miles. Early lead going on there. Back and forth, Dangler and Dylan. We'll be talking about them shortly, but looking more further stats, Cheese has not played any matches since the 2022 loss to Burb Wizard in the round 0 matches back then. So this is really Cheese's first competitive games in 2 years.
So that makes sense with the 6-0. So those are all very old. We can kind of just forget all of that.
you can put them into
In
the
a
record
sense.
book.
Yeah,
In a sense.
the historical record.
It's kind of like if we're talking about, you played Jeff a couple of years ago in those best of 99s, and historically he's wiped the floor with you. But let's say if you wanted to go total home again 2 years later, those losses don't mean anything.
They don't mean anything today. Yeah, I would lose way more now.
Well, hopefully we're not losing the audience here. So we're having ourselves a great match all around. It's 395 for Cheese, 413 for Miles, 436 for Dangler, and 391 for Dylan.
The matches, they look, everyone's really playing perfect Tetris, as they seem always to do. It doesn't surprise me that Miles has a little lead, but Cheese is right behind him. Oh, and they do have seed numbers today, so Miles' seed is a little higher than Cheese, but not by much. Oh, Dangler is actually seed 2? Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Oh.
Had a second seed with, I believe, 16 max outs, but no kicker. That was the
wow.
No kicker. That's why Scooty was number 1. Scooty submitted a kicker in that.
So this guy just sits here and maxes out all day, every day.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the Dangler here, Ben, we got some information on him.
We do have some Dangler information. I have Dangler information before you even want it.
But there you go. See, so Dangler and Dylan have played before. They're 1-1 lifetime.
Yeah.
Dangler has the perfect max.
Oh, yeah, and I've been raving about that.
He's got a 1.5 into kill screen, so that is like, I don't know if it was something back in the day you guys talked about, but how mathematically it's possible to get a 1.5 score before you get to level 29. The problem was how can you do it practically, right? So Dangler proved that you can do it. You got a 1.5 at kill screen and has the most pace world records of any player. Woo. And is ranked number 10 in the Premier poll.
Those are serious world records. There are so many important world records in Tetris that it's hard to keep track. It's almost like track and field. Now, there's a lot of different events. But some of those, based on pace, based on being perfect, are really impressive.
All right, so we have Cheese over at 533, Miles at 613. Big lead for Miles.
Miles is the only one with a kind of a weird-looking screen, but he's fixing it up. Probably got some RNG that forced that. Now it's gone.
On the bottom, our pace leader, the Dangler, 684 through level 21 against Dylan, 629. Now, here's the thing, Ben, right?
Yeah.
Dylan, the only tapper left in the bracket.
Oh, is he tap?
You can see it right there.
So there's he doesn't like switch to.
No, there is. Well, not that I'm aware of right now.
Oh man, that makes me want to root for him because tap is like.
It's like the old DAS.
It's like the old. It's like the DAS.
Yeah,
it's like the second generation.
It's the DAS of 2019, right?
Yeah.
And that's the funny thing, Ben, is that, oh man, Cheese, hold on.
Oh, Cheese.
Some trouble for our roller.
Okay, he could probably come out of this. It looks like he's getting good pieces, but certainly going to lose some pace. And the square's not going to help, so. Okay, I believe he's going to come out now.
Nice adjustment for Cheese with that placement for the S to come in. And that only burned one line, Ben.
That's what being a champion is all about. That's just most people would not get through that.
Oh, what a dirty
Tetris. Take a bath after that one.
Oh,
that is.
God. Ben's bringing the soap over.
I need a wet wipe.
Miles, a 93,000 point lead over Cheese. Dylan keeping it close, but the board a little cheesy to speak. Dangler too, some trouble here, Ben.
Yeah, if you're starting to approach that level 29, just a few levels extra.
We're on level 26 now for 3 out of the 4 players. Dangler will join now. The bottom is close here, Ben. The top is a large lead for Miles.
Yeah. That dig that Cheese had to do did give Miles a little runway to get out ahead.
Wow.
Although we're going to see max outs pretty soon on the bottom and from Miles, but Cheese has some work.
Huge lead for Miles. He's going to be happy with that. 937, Cheese will get a triple to go to 795. Meanwhile, the bottom, it's still so tight here.
And speaking of being an OG and being a big deal, Cheese, of course, the inventor of the rolling style. I don't know if we referenced that. That gives him eternal fame in the Tetris community.
Here we go.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that as the match progresses. But geez, this is such a tough board for G. We got 29 play at the bottom too, Ben.
Oh,
Dylan actually has taken quite a lead now.
yeah, 60,000 point lead.
But look at that one Tetris with Dangler.
Yeah.
Just changed that right away.
Dangler looks unafraid of that lead. And Cheese.
Oh, Cheese with the Tetris to stay alive. Right now.
Oh,
with
Cheese's
the
board
rotation.
is not looking good, and that's going to end Cheese's game. So that's a win for Miles. That's game 1. And we fight on the bottom. Boy, this is close.
Remember, Ben, look, he's tapping on level 29 speed.
Oh my goodness! I didn't know he was.
Oh,
And that's
no,
gonna, okay.
that's gonna do
So just a few more line clears from Dangler, and that'll be game 1. And it's not there yet. And he's there. He got game 1.
Methodical moves from the Dangler.
Watching a guy on the super kill screen tapping, that's inspiring.
Going to level 31, Ben. I mean, that's an additional almost 30 lines, 259 lines there, Ben.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Ben, what is your all-time lines record again?
297. Why do you ask?
Well, I feel like Dylan could probably break
little
that
lower.
Okay. Playing at
We're
that
ready to
speed
count
there.
down.
We're ready to
And
go.
in 3, 2, 1, Tetris.
All 4 will get started here. L's on the top, J's on the bottom to begin. What a match. What a match so far. Let's talk about Dylan real quick, Ben. We've got Dylan, also known as Answer the Question on Twitch, if you want to follow him. As mentioned, the only tapper left in the bracket. Managed to get back-to-back 1.3s in the bracket yesterday.
Wow.
If you could imagine that. And then is one of those world record high scores for tappers at CTWC, which is a tremendous feat because really that kind of went back to like Dog was like one of those. He had a 1.3 in the online era against PokeNerd and one of the more magical matches we've seen there.
So probably the greatest tapper in Tetris history. I mean, he's got these records.
And I like this note here, Ben. It says from Marfram, unlikely to win a set, but could take games at that rate. Well, we almost just saw that happen, right?
Yeah.
SB Saul removed him from Tetris eligibility.
World record holder, Dylan. Yeah, that's correct. He holds the world records in all the tap.
So the early days, Ben, as our players are just getting settled in and getting cozy. Literally a line burn difference between Miles and Cheese. Dangler already off to a strong start as he usually is. Ben, let's talk about pace for a second. You know, back in the day, pace was considered a curse word because when people were having like games like that, and people would maybe be in the chat or around and say, "Oh, this guy's got pace. He's got pace." It would be like, "Oh, you're cursing them to do bad now," because then it would just seem that the game knew to stop feeding you the long
It's a
bar.
classic thing, and I'm amazed it's not true today as well. If something's going well and you call it out, it's going to stop going well. So I don't know what would change about that with time. So, yeah, I try not to acknowledge it when I have good pace.
Right. But was that something that you guys back in the day were kind of discussing about, like keeping pace and what you wanted for transitions? Give us a little insight on that.
The kind of transitions you want. Like I did a little math and I kind of said to myself, okay, a 520 transition is good but achievable on a regular basis. And then if you get one of every line clear in every level thereafter, a Tetris, a 3, a 2, and a 1, you'd max out. Almost exactly. So that's always the kind of thing I shoot for. 400 at 100, 520 at transition, max out at the kill screen, which I barely ever get. But that's what I'm going for.
Nice double tuck there from Dangler to fit the T, get a Tetris in. Close game again at the bottom. A little bit closer this time on the top. Cheese keeping it about less than a Tetris and going to take the lead actually twice over. 37,000 point lead for Cheese. Dylan with a 25,000 point lead.
All right.
4 Tetrises.
I have an awkward board here for Dangler, Ben.
So Miles, with that one game in the first game, is setting up an expectation that that 6-0 is going to change today. He expects it to change today.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan is keeping it very clean, very consistent, and if he can continue to do that, he's gonna possibly take a game over Dangler.
Oh, certainly. I expect a game to be taken. I would like to see a couple of deciders from both of these. Cheese has a little bit of a situation, a little RNG getting him down. So minor. Why did I even mention it?
Oh, because being a player of your caliber certainly, has to worry about those things.
You gotta worry just to be on the safe side, but and I knew all along he'd solve it. Very close match on top. Dylan does have that slight lead, 76,000.
Very sizable, very sizable indeed. Over 100,000 points for Dylan, our tapper, down 1-0 to the Dangler, number 2 seed overall. Cheese, your number 11 seed, going against number 6 seed Miles. Again, another story of good friends here that are playing. Cheese and Miles, longtime friends here in the community. They, train together, they play together, and it's so nice to see Cheese back. In fact, Cheese told me this past weekend, yesterday, he ran into the innovator of rolling overall as a whole, Mr. Flyheck.
Oh.
Flyheck was here. Maybe, I don't know if he's still here today. Maybe he's in the crowd watching, but he got to meet Cheese. They had a nice conversation about the rolling technique.
So the innovator of rolling is not Cheese?
Well,
You mean in other
the
games?
innovator of classic Tetris rolling is Cheese.
Okay.
But the rolling concept was first started by Flyheck. So Flyheck is a arcade cabinet player.
Right, I get what you mean, yeah. Oh, it's good that they got to meet each other.
They got to meet
The
each
great
other here,
rollers
yeah.
of the world.
And so that was a wonderful meeting there. We've transitioned on the bottom here, and we're about to get Cheese to transition shortly as well.
Yeah, we have transitions from all players, and we're off to the races. Dylan's got a solid lead. If Dylan has any troubles at all on the kill screen, a good lead will help. So this could be a good, good opportunity.
Ben, did you see that setup from Dylan and Dangler with some
Cheese,
trouble?
though. Cheese and Dangler both fighting. Oh, goodness.
Nice.
Can they
setups.
both get out of this? I think so for Cheese, and I think so for Dylan or Dangler too.
The technique of rolling is so powerful, Ben, that it can do so many things. And Dangler, notice the sigh of relief off his shoulder.
Oh my gosh, that's worthy of a sigh right there. And they both fixed their problems.
That was almost like that Ben Mullins sigh, right? That, ooh, right?
Oh.
That looked like that.
I do big sighs even when I'm doing good, just because I know eventually I'm not going to be doing good.
Well, hopefully Dangler doesn't have that same intuition. 697 for Cheese, 718 for Miles. That one got tight now.
Those issues have led to about a 200,000 point lead for Dylan. Yeah. Oh, not a piece he would have wanted. Nice burning by Dangler to free up the right well.
Chad here is enjoying watching Dylan tapping.
Yeah.
It's marvelous. Look how fast his fingers are moving, Ben. You see the rapid movement of his tapping is almost similar to like a good 4-tap roller.
The hertz have got to just be 30 oftentimes. That Dylan's just tapping away with an over 200,000 point lead now. About to max out in level 26 and just did max out. Just running a clinic. What a guy, what a guy. So Dangler's got his work cut out for him. And the top between Miles and Cheese, much closer, much closer. Also about to turn into some max outs.
2, 1, Tetris!
All right, so we got level 26 at the top. Tetris for Miles coming in. He'll take a 54,000 point lead, nearing the 1 million points. On the bottom, 200,000 points for Dylan. I mean, here's the thing, Ben, right? It's a large lead, but the question is, how long can Dylan last at the 229 speed in order to maybe make Dylan make Dengler have to really be aggressive?
That's going to be the question that Dengler's going to try to answer when we get to kill screen.
And how appropriate, since Dylan's Twitch handle is answer the question. We're going to find it.
Here we are answering that right now.
My God. Look at
the longer
speed.
Dylan can hang on, the better shot he's got.
Nice burns here for Dylan. Knows the smart move here, Ben, is to keep it low.
Yeah,
not give away the game until you run out of space. He's going for a Tetris here, Ben.
He's going for a Tetris. That'll be something. Ooh.
Oh, my God, what a tuck.
Oh, that tuck. It was worth it for the tuck, my man.
The drought.
Wow.
We're still in the drought here, Ben.
Oh.
The Tetris finally for Dengler.
Everybody's on the kill screen. Miles and Cheese are operating. Dengler's in the middle of a big chase down. Can he survive long enough?
We'll keep our eye on Dengler, but at the top it is still a war between friends. Cheese down 54,000 points. Miles trying to keep it going. He wants the 2-0 lead. We got a center well, Ben.
We got a center well. This is a Quaid well right here. And he is rocking it.
He's rocking it again. And another one for Cheese to take the lead back.
Cheese took the lead. Dengler down to 113 he's got to make up, which is still large. That was a big gap to begin with.
He is chipping away.
So he get 39 levels, so he's got 5 levels to go. He's got enough.
Meanwhile,
Miles is running into some
Miles
imperfect stack here.
Oh, Cheese with a trouble.
So is Cheese.
We got problems at the top here, Ben.
Oh, boy. Oh, and Dengler gets a... Oh, and Cheese is out that game.
Oh, Dengler with a Tetris. He's less than 3,000 points.
To win. Dengler takes game 2.
What a chase down from the Pace King. It is Dengler with the win for game number 2. Miles with the win in game number 2. That puts Cheese and Dylan on must-win games, Ben.
That was a clutch chase down. You've really got to be dialed in. Amazing.
200,000 point chase down, Ben. Can you even imagine that your wildest dreams that someone would do that on level 29?
Back in my day, you didn't even score 200,000 points, let alone chase it down. No, we could score 200,000. 2, 1, Tetris.
All right, all games are going to start again.
But yeah, that was just.
We got some good time. We got some good timing here, Ben, because the matches always begin at they end at the same time. They're starting at the same time. Makes our jobs a lot easier, right?
Amen to that. I see a reference on the chat that I'd like to bring up saying Das is not dead. Amen to that. In fact,
let's give it. In fact, Ben, let's give a shout out because we have a DAS championship going on. We got not one but two. We got a world championship going on in Germany later this summer, but it's happening at the end of July for our friends in Germany. That'll be taking place in Cologne, Germany.
Cologne, Germany.
Yeah, where I guess cologne and perfume are.
Smells like Tetris.
Smells like Tetris there. Smells like heaven. So that'll be happening at the end of July, where it is the official DAS World Championship hosted by our friends in Germany, by Mark and his team. They'll do a wonderful job there. And we have the ever-famous now the inaugural Jonas
Cup. Is it Jonas Cup or Jonas Tournament?
The Jonas Neubauer Cup, we're calling it.
Cup.
So
I like that.
We would envision that perhaps a cup will be given, like a Stanley Cup.
Like DAS, people think of DAS as is DAS dead? Is DAS not dead? It's not dead. DAS is like an art form. The limitations it puts on you makes you play beautiful Tetris. And so it's never going to die. It's probably not going to see itself on the top 16 of the main tournament. I could say that. But it's not dead. We're going to keep it alive.
And I think people have adopted that having two separate tournaments for things like that makes a lot of sense, because now you're being inclusive with people that can still participate, like yourself, right? We got to see a good friend of mine, Big Dave, was here, right? He's coming out of the woodwork because he's like, wow, I want to go. I talked to him over the weekend. He's like, yeah, I'm going to Jonas Cup.
Absolutely.
What about Ben Mullen? Is Ben Mullen going to the Jonas Cup?
Oh, Ben Mullen's a lock. I'm coming to that.
There we go. We're going to see the icon play and get eliminated in round 1.
I do wonder, and maybe our stats feed person can help us out here. Who was the highest DAS qualifier this year? Do we know the answer to that quickly?
That's a good question. I will check it out in a moment.
They were probably somewhere in silver. I don't think any gold people had a DAS as a play style. See here from Van Dweller in chat that Quaid is always the highest DAS player. That is pretty true. He's absolutely incredible. But I don't know if he even qualified. I don't think he did.
He was only here for our Friday event. Sharky had 2 maxes this year.
Okay.
So it kind of underperformed, but he would expect.
But he was doing the DAS.
He had DAS, so he had the 2. So we're reaching out to stats to find out which DAS player. And confirm here, Ben, Scotto Bozo, three maxes for the 50th seed. So he was two spots short. So for the first time at CTWC, a DAS player did not play in the gold bracket.
That's a piece of history itself.
Listen to this, Ben. 3 maxes and a 985 kicker.
And doesn't get into
gold.
What a future we live in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a bittersweet piece of history that no DAS made it into gold, but it is what it is.
People mentioning that Scotto rolling though now? No, apparently he played DAS for this tournament.
All right, so what do we got for updates on the games? Very high Tetris rates on the bottom, 77% for Dengler. Miles is up on top, but not by a super huge amount. And it won't be by much because he has some cleaning to do. So they're almost like tied in the future on top.
Tetris for Dylan. 451 on the right. Dengler 497 on the left. 45,000 point lead. Past the Joey Parker turn that we love. I'm saying that on purpose now because Van Dweller's in the chat. I'm going to say it on purpose to get him irate. He doesn't like the Joey Parker turn.
Who doesn't like the Joey Parker turn?
No, not that he doesn't like Joey, but he doesn't like Joey Parker turn. Who? Van Dweller.
Well,
that guy.
I'm glad he's not here to defend himself because I love the Joey Parker turn.
You heard that? Van is in the chat, of course, so we're kind of ribbing on him a little bit.
I like it. It's a good spot to. It's a good spot of introspection and self-reflection on how you're doing in a game.
Ben, if you had to name a certain line count in your I guess in your name and your visage, which one would it be?
If I had to name a certain line, like
so like 100 lines is Joey Parker turn. So at what point of the game do we say it's the Ben Mullen turn or the Ben Mullen fail? Or
so if I get to level 25, I usually make it to level 29. So that's kind of an important one for me. I don't know what it is, but if I get that far, I'm gonna go all the way. But I rarely get that far.
See, Bandy getting salty. He's getting salty now.
Oh, is he getting salty in that one?
He's getting salty. There you can see what he said. And I don't even know what that word means, man, introspected. But what I can tell you is we're going to inspect this game. We've got our transitions here. Ben, Miles up by 40,000. Dylan up by 51,000.
Crazy build. Oh, my God. How is he doing this, Bird? He can't get it. Sit down.
All right.
To the top 4. But no top. Let's keep going here. No top.
I hear some excitement from the other stream. Not much excitement here, though. These are very close games. They're very well-played games. Dylan is now up to an 81% Tetris rate. That's notable in and of itself. 82 now. So this is if anything's notable, it's that there's some really great games going on.
Ooh, geez, that Z piece just like zipped way too far.
That is an unfortunate Z.
So stuff happening on CT1 over there, Ben. A lot
Yeah,
of
we do
reaction
see-
for some crazy games.
We do see Sidnev and Dog moving on.
There you go. Dog by Tetris advancing. Sidnev advancing to the next round.
And they both did so in sweeps, which is very, very impressive.
Meanwhile, over here, we have Cheese down 138,000 points. This board
Look at that board,
is a mess.
too.
And
That's-
Cheese needs to stay alive here, Ben. He has no more games to give.
No, yeah.
He's got that giant belt of Friday night.
And Dengler now in the lead. He was behind a bit before. Oh, Cheese. Oh, Cheese. Oh, and that.
That will do it
That
for our
will be
roller.
Cheese. A noble fight. And they hug it out.
There they are.
Tremendous job.
It's a lot of emotion in this
A
game.
lot of emotions. And we talked about that here earlier. 6-0 lifetime Cheese over Miles. What's happened again, Ben? That undefeated streak for our players has ended.
I gotta get some string cheese and give him his lifetime achievement award.
Whoa, wah, 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 wah. As we segue over to our 1v1 match,
All right.
Dengler looking to close out Dylan here in a sweep as well.
And we got a max out, and we're about to get another one. Just incredible by both.
Summer B with $100 saying good luck to all the remaining players.
28,000 point lead for the Dengler. Smashes a Tetris again. We're on level 28 here. Ben, another Tetris.
Yeah.
Dengler is looking to close it out and head to the top 8 yet again.
He's making himself hard to beat by just, you play perfectly and they can't catch up. And we're about to see kill screen for Dengler, followed by the same for Dylan.
Exciting finish here, Ben.
Boy, he really needs a long, and he gets it. He kind of needed that to happen by the time it happened.
Dylan, one more line to burn. He'll take the double, but this is kind of high for him, Ben.
Dengler's not looking too good.
This drought is
He
30
needs-
pieces and more.
Oh no! Oh,
And that'll do
Dylan
it.
tops out, and Dengler takes the match.
What a killer drought there, Ben. Over 30-piece drought for Dylan at the end.
Wow.
Can't get it over. The tapper has fallen, and the roller, the number 2 seed, has moved on.
Incredible. My brain cannot take any more of this Tetris.
My God, Ben, what a top 16 it's been. This has been incredible today.
This has
Kudos to
been-
all players. Kudos to all players.
This has been so stressful just watching this Tetris. So inspiring. I gotta say, I'm a fan of this game. Great work, Dylan.
I'm starting to figure it out.
What a match that was, Ben.
What
That
a
was
match.
incredible. So I think we'll get a bracket scene
Dengler,
coming up
good
in moments
work.
once that's updated. Dengler,
Oh yeah.
let's bring him in.
We're gonna ask some questions of the Dengler here. We got him up.
Noah, congratulations on your advancement to the top 8, second year in a row. Dylan, the last tapper standing, you put him out. Talk about how difficult it was to play someone that can play some level 29 as a tapper.
Yeah, the plan going in was to just sort of make kill screen and then line out, but like game 1, Dylan wasn't topping out as early as I thought he was going to, so it was a little bit stressful, but the plan worked. I just was able to line out and chase down.
Now let's talk about that 200K chase down. You're going into 29, and it kind of on our end it's like, oh man, I don't know how he's gonna pull this out. But you found a way. A little bit of a line out strat, which is the right thing. Settle yourself down, and then you started hitting those big Tetrises later on. Feeling confident at that point.
Yeah, I was just sort of get used to the speed and my mechanics, and then get like a couple Tetrises at the very end to close out the chase down.
You move on to the next round. You'll be, according to our bracket here, you will be playing Sidnev next. We know what she can do. Last year, the runner-up. Can you take down the final international player here?
I don't know, I'll do my best.
That's all we can ask for. Congratulations, Dylan. Well done. We'll see you in the next round. Ben, what a nice young man right there. A man of reason and few words, but he got it done.
Guy's a killer. Incredible.
We have Vince Clemente on the mic right now as he's acknowledging the crowd.
We're making some
Our
announcements.
president.
I'm good. We all do.
He is the Presidente here.
Thanks, Scooby. I don't have to work hard. Yeah. I used to be able to just hang out with my friends in 2010. Worked for like a weekend. This is year 15, 40th anniversary of Tetris.
Yeah,
Big thanks to all our sponsors.
All right, Ben. So we're gonna move on over to CT1. Our day is done, Ben.
Our
It's
day
a
is done.
Phenomenal job to work with you as always.
It's been a pleasure working with you. It's been a pleasure with you, chat.
You are the icon of classic Tetris, and I am.
And you are the king, sir.
Well, then that's why we make the perfect pair.
Amen
Thank you so
to
much,
that.
my friend. We're gonna head on over to the Classic Tetris 1 channel as our president Vince Clemente is speaking, and we're gonna get set for our top 8 in a little bit.
CTWC Lifetime.
Thank you all so much. Have a good night.
This is for